Donald Trump isn't just shaking things up politically. He's now taking aim at the U.S. economy, and the fallout could be serious. What's even more puzzling is the reason behind it. Trump and much of the American right seem disconnected from reality itself. Let's dive right into what's happening economically. Recently, the stock market has been tumbling sharply, and it just passed a troubling milestone. The S&P 500 dropped more than 10% from its peak in less than a month. That's officially called a correction on Wall Street. This isn't just a minor hiccup, it's a serious signal. Even Trump himself seems to sense trouble ahead, hinting recently, "I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition." Remember, this is the same Trump who once promised immediate economic miracles on day one. Now he's urging patience, saying big changes take time. But what's causing all this chaos? The simple answer: Donald Trump himself. Investors are craving stability, yet Trump's unpredictable style is making the market nervous. One minute he announces massive tariffs, and the next, he scraps them entirely. This constant flip-flopping, like sudden tariffs on Canadian aluminum or European wine, leaves businesses struggling to plan ahead. The result? Companies pause investments, workers lose hours, and everyone feels the pinch. Beyond unpredictability, Trump's aggressive cuts to government services, from education and roads to critical services like air traffic control, add fuel to the fire. Businesses depend on these essentials, and when they're slashed, economic confidence plunges even further. Then there's Trump's love affair with tariffs. While Trump claims tariffs punish foreign countries, the truth is different. Tariffs are taxes on Americans buying imported goods. If you purchase a foreign car, you're footing that bill, not Germany or Japan. As other countries retaliate with their own tariffs, American businesses find their products harder to sell abroad, causing even deeper economic pain. Economists are now talking about the dreaded word stagflation, zero growth mixed with rising inflation. And Trump's version may be even worse, as Heather Bushey, an economic advisor from the Biden era, points out. She highlights how Trump's alignment with business figures like Elon Musk, who hold enormous influence over government policies, further disrupts fair competition and innovation. Businesses see this favoritism and hesitate to invest, worsening an already shaky economy. Additionally, Trump's drastic budget cuts, over $1 trillion from vital programs like Medicaid and food stamps, leave America poorly prepared for any economic downturn. When trouble hits, ordinary people suffer most. Ironically, many of those hardest hit will be Trump's own voters, the very people who believed he'd improve their lives. So why would Trump risk hurting both the economy and his own political future? The answer lies in his distorted perception of reality, shaped by fake news. Trump doesn't just spread misinformation, he genuinely believes much of it. Surrounded by loyalists and media outlets telling him exactly what he wants to hear, he's become insulated from inconvenient facts. He ignores expert briefings, preferring misinformation that fits his narrative, whether it's incorrect poll numbers or historical misunderstandings about tariffs. Trump's actions and worldview are deeply rooted in past beliefs that haven't evolved. He has long held the idea that tariffs make a nation wealthy, clinging to economic practices from the 19th century despite clear evidence of their detrimental effects in the modern economy. By disregarding contemporary economic realities and relying on outdated beliefs, Trump is actively sabotaging not just market confidence but also the long-term economic health of the country. Furthermore, Trump's alliance with figures like Elon Musk further complicates the economic landscape. Musk's dominance across various sectors, coupled with Trump's policies tailored to favor him, creates an uneven playing field. This favoritism discourages competition, discourages innovation, and ultimately results in lower economic growth. When businesses feel the rules are stacked against them, they naturally reduce their risk-taking and investments, further stalling economic momentum. The implications of Trump's economic strategies extend far beyond Wall Street. Main Street America is feeling the pinch through higher consumer prices, stagnant wages, and increasing job insecurity. Farmers are struggling with retaliatory tariffs, Manufacturers see their exports shrinking, and everyday families find basic goods more expensive. The real-world impacts of Trump's economic policies are beginning to manifest clearly, and they're not promising. This economic turbulence is also occurring amid a backdrop of significant cuts to social safety nets. Reductions in Medicaid, food stamps, and other critical assistance programs mean fewer resources to cushion Americans from economic shocks. As more families face hardships due to rising costs and unstable employment, the absence of a robust support system exacerbates their struggles, pushing many into deeper poverty. Moreover, Trump's approach is undermining vital infrastructure and public services that businesses and citizens alike rely on. Budget cuts to education, transportation, and health services reduce overall productivity and competitiveness. Poorly maintained roads, overcrowded schools, and understaffed hospitals create long-term economic and social costs, impacting productivity and lowering overall quality of life. Trump's supporters, particularly in rural and economically vulnerable regions, are beginning to witness firsthand the consequences of his policies. Promises of revitalization and prosperity remain unfulfilled, replaced instead by economic uncertainty and hardship. The disconnect between Trump's assurances and the reality on the ground is becoming increasingly evident, raising questions about his political future. As Trump's narrative becomes increasingly detached from reality, his decisions continue to reflect a distorted perception influenced heavily by misinformation. This reliance on unverified and biased information sources isolates him from sound advice and factual economic analysis. Consequently, policy choices are made based on ideological convictions rather than evidence-based strategies, further endangering economic stability. Ultimately, Trump's economic policies represent a significant departure from traditional conservative fiscal responsibility. Rather than fostering growth through stable, predictable policymaking, Trump's approach injects uncertainty and instability into the economy. His actions appear more focused on short-term political gains and personal vindication than the long-term economic health and prosperity of the nation. As Americans begin to experience the tangible outcomes of Trump's economic decisions, public opinion is likely to shift. The lived reality of economic hardship, rising costs, and deteriorating public services will challenge Trump's narrative of success. In time, the consequences of his economic mismanagement will become undeniable, reshaping the political landscape and possibly prompting significant shifts in voter behavior. In conclusion, Trump's economic policies, driven by misinformation, outdated beliefs, and personal agendas, threaten significant long-term harm to the U.S. economy. While Trump maintains his position through a distorted view of reality, ordinary Americans are poised to bear the brunt of these misguided choices. Eventually, the gap between Trump's claims and the everyday reality experienced by millions of Americans will become impossible to ignore, revealing the profound economic damage caused by his administration.